compared to other large cities as far as firefighters per capita. We're taking a close look at our firefighter staffing levels.
Several more of President-elect Trump's cabinet picks sit for their confirmation hearings. What nominees for the EPA and Department of the Interior said about climate change and energy.
Texting while driving topped all traffic citations last year. We're working for you to show you effective ways on how to break this deadly habit.
Local leaders reaffirmed their commitment to human rights in response to the incoming Trump administration. Details coming up.
The importance of health care rooted in the Native American traditions in both the city and the country.
CBS 8 News Live at 6 starts now. As wildfires devastate Los Angeles, city leaders there are being criticized for an understaffed fire department and recent budget cuts. And as it turned out, San Diego has fewer firefighters per capita than LA does. Thanks for joining us. I'm Marcella Lee.
I'm Carlo Cicchetto. CBS 8's Brian White is taking a closer look at firefighting staffing levels here in San Diego.
Yeah, compared to other large cities across the country, Los Angeles ranks number 9 as far as firefighters per capita. So where does San Diego land on that list? Unfortunately, it's right behind LA at number 10.
This is a woefully understaffed fire department.
Despite being one of the most fire-prone areas of the country, the LA Fire Department has less than 1 firefighter for every 1,000 residents. According to CNN, that compares to cities like Chicago and Dallas, where they have closer to 2 firefighters for the same number of residents. And trailing right behind LA is San Diego.
It was very concerning, but not surprising.
According to a local spokesperson, San Diego Fire Rescue operates 52 fire stations with 994 firefighters serving a growing population of nearly 1.4 million.
Historically, it has been a challenge. We have been understaffed, but we are working on climbing out of that hole.
Mark Morrison is vice president of San Diego City Firefighters Local 145. He says when it comes to big wildfires, staffing levels can make a difference.
Are we going to stop a firestorm? No, but every single fire engine and every single firefighter on the street can make the difference between an entire block burning down or saving 3 or 4 homes. And that's one fire engine.
In light of the city's overall $252 million budget deficit, they're working with city leaders to minimize the impact of any cuts to the fire department. San Diego City Council President Joe LaCava.
We know we have to do better. We know we need, for example, more fire stations in key locations in our city, but we're so fortunate with the men and women that we have. We need to serve them better.
We reached out to Mayor Gloria's office for comment on city fire department staffing levels, but we're told he wasn't available for interviews today. Mark tells me despite the challenges with attrition and retirement, San Diego Fire Rescue's staffing levels are trending upward, with 35 recruits in the academy set to graduate in March. He says firefighters here are ready for anything.
They love what they do, they believe in what they do, and from a go-get-'em standpoint, we're ready.
In San Diego, Brian White, CBS 8.
Thank you, Brian. Today, the Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department said 31 people are missing from the Palisades and Eaton fires.
And the night, the death toll has risen by 2 to 27 deaths confirmed, 17 in the Eaton fire and 10 in the Palisades fire. First responders are still working to contain those fires, which have seen little growth over the last day. As of the last update a couple hours ago, the Palisades fire has burned nearly 24,000 acres and is 22% contained. The Eaton fire is at more than 14,000 acres, 55% contained. Meanwhile, the Otto fire, which started in Ventura County 3 days ago, has been limited to 61 acres and is 85% contained. There is a break from high winds today, but forecasts warn that dangerous conditions could return next week.
Today, we are focused on efforts to reset department staffing to ensure our personnel get the much needed and overdue rest and recovery they require.
Los Angeles authorities have lifted some evacuations for those affected by the Palisades fire, but tens of thousands of people remain under evacuation orders. A new study tonight is looking at how these wildfires are disproportionately affecting minority communities in LA County. The study comes from the UCLA Latino Policy and Politics Institute. It says Latinos represent 36% of the workforce affected by the wildfires, and around 35,000 jobs held by Latinos are now at risk. That's because many Latinos work in service industries like housekeeping and cashiering, which do not offer remote work options.
For the Latino community, it really is about job losses. If you think about the Black community in Altadena, it's about the loss of housing and generational wealth.
Gonzalez says it's ironic that these same communities, which are facing displacement and job loss, will play a key role in recovery efforts with construction and cleanup. One of the biggest issues facing homeowners in high fire risk areas is the insurance crisis.
Today, we're learning that in the Pacific Palisades, State Farm dropped about 1,600 policies over the last year. That's according to the California Department of Insurance. As a result, about 1 in 7 homeowners in Pacific Palisades now rely on California's FAIR plan. That's 4 times higher than in 2020. There's also a new problem facing people who owned homes impacted by the fire: price gouging. Today, California Attorney General Rob Bonta announced investigations into price gouging and issued an executive order that extends a ban on price gouging for hotels, motels, and rental housing in LA County. California law generally prohibits charging a price that exceeds by more than 10% the price a seller charged for an item before a state or local declaration of emergency.
Folks across the region are being preyed upon by greedy businesses and landlords, scam artists, and predatory buyers looking to make a quick buck off their pain.
The order also expedites the process for those affected by the fires to get new temporary housing. With tens of thousands of people in Los Angeles displaced, the need for help is massive, which is why local nonprofits like Feeding San Diego, who CBS 8 partners with, are stepping up. Feeding San Diego is filling up a truck with food and beverages that will be delivered to LA tomorrow. In all, there will be 26 pallets weighing about 33,000 pounds, all of which was donated here in San Diego. And this will not be the last truckload of aid. Feeding San Diego will continue to collect and deliver donations. We have their information up on our website, cbs8.com, and stay connected with us for the latest updates on the Los Angeles fires. You can follow us on our website, cbs8.com, or download the free CBS 8 app.
Despite knowing the dangers, drivers can't seem to resist checking their phones behind the wheel.
CBS 8 found new data shows texting while driving has become San Diego's most common traffic violation.
CBS 8's Abby Black is working for you with a closer look at the numbers and solutions to help stop this dangerous behavior.
We all know that it's dangerous, yet the temptation to check that text while behind the wheel is stronger than ever. We dug into San Diego police data, and it shows that texting while driving topped all traffic citations last year. We're working for you to show you effective ways to break this deadly habit.
The heartbreak of distracted driving haunts families like the Montalvos. 5 years ago, their son, 21-year-old Benjamin, was biking with friends in Corona when a texting driver took his life.
I remember seeing his shoe in the street.
Despite tragedies like Benjamin's, drivers keep reaching for their phones.
Life's busy. We've all been super busy, and it seems like we're impatient.
That impatience comes at a cost. CBS 8 analyzed San Diego police records and found officers wrote 4,687 texting citations last year, more than any other traffic violation. That's 11% of all tickets issued.
I think it's more normalized that it's okay and it's acceptable. I think people aren't calling people out on it, realizing the dangers behind it.
San Diego traffic officer Kai Johnson says that he's caught drivers watching movies and recording social videos at stoplights, which is illegal. Even hands-free devices can distract.
A lot of times it's a denial, a lot of times, and then it's urgent. I couldn't wait.
But the consequences are clear. A first offense costs $162 after fees, and nationwide, distracted driving claims almost 9 lives daily.
It is the kind of pain that nobody should go through.
Here's what safety experts tell us that you can do to help break the phone habit. Program the GPS before departing, put your phone out of reach, activate your phone's Do Not Disturb feature, and let passengers handle calls and texts.
I also think it's important for parents to lead by example. Don't be doing it so your kids can see it, because if mom and dad do it, maybe it's okay.
Benjamin's mother's plea is simple.
You might think it's just a quick 1-second glance, but there is nothing on that phone that's worth a life.
Working for you, Abby Black, CBS 8.
Thank you, Abby. Right now, the city of San Diego is warning about a parking ticket phishing scam.
Be careful. They say scammers set up a fake website that impersonates a city webpage requesting payments for parking citations. The text usually says that your vehicle has an unpaid parking invoice. Here's a look at one example that we've seen, and then it directs you to click on a website to pay the balance. CBS 8 spoke with one viewer who got that text, only an unpaid parking invoice for $4.35, but he immediately knew that it was suspicious.
says to avoid disconnection, pay the fine. I was like, okay, whoever created this scam, I mean, they even did the wording wrong.
The city warns that this is a widespread phishing attempt, and their advice: never click the link. Do not click that link, ignore the message, and block the number. To check if you do owe money for an unpaid parking ticket, visit sandiego.gov/parking/citations.
Tonight, we have new data that shows the impact of the sewage crisis on South Bay residents.
We're going to break down those results coming up next.
San Diego leaders say they're coming together to reaffirm their commitment to human rights. Details after the break.
We took a break from Santa Ana winds for today. We had some cool air that moved through widespread 60s when it came to our daytime highs. We're taking a break for a few more days, but then we get into the start of next week when they are set to return. More details in your complete forecast coming up.